So there's a new prime minister of Italy, eh? And you want to hear? Here's everybody's making a big deal out. Here's her speech, and let's listen.
Tante altre di queste domande. A monte c'è quella che ci facciamo oggi. Perché la famiglia?
So you know what I'll do? Because we still
You don't speak Italian, but
I don't speak Italian.
Okay.
But if I could really speak it. So I'll do it a little. I'll read it out because there's a lot of people who listen to this show as a podcast. So I will also interpret. Here we go. She says, "This is about what we are. This is about what we are doing here today. Why is the family an enemy? Why is the family so frightening? There is a single answer to all these questions, because it defines us, because it is our identity, because everything that defines us is now an enemy. For those who would like us to no longer have an identity and to simply be perfect consumer slaves, and so they attack national identity, they attack religious identity, they attack gender identity, they attack family identity. I can't define myself as Italian, Christian, woman, mother. No. I must be citizen X, gender X, parent 1, parent 2. I must be a number. Because when I am only a number, when I no longer have an identity or roots, then I will be the perfect slave at the mercy of financial speculators.
What?
The perfect consumer. Now, this is wild that she's saying these things. Well, I'll finish and then we'll come back. The perfect consumer. That's the reason why. And then she finds a poem. That's why we inspire so much fear. That's why this event inspires so much fear. Because we do not want to be numbers. We will defend the value of the human being. Every single human being, because each of us has a unique genetic code that is unrepeatable. And like it or not, that is sacred. We will defend it. We will defend God, country, and family. Those things that disgust people so much, we will do it to defend our freedom. Because we will never be slaves and simple consumers at the mercy of financial speculators. That is our mission. That is why I came here today. So it sounds like she wants to stand. It can't be. But from that, it sounds like she wants to stand up to the capitalists. She sounds like a communist. That's what she sounds like. But everybody's saying she's a fascist. Now remember what fascism is. Mussolini, who everybody says she's following after, and she said nice things about Mussolini. Mussolini is the one who defined fascism as the coming together of corporations and state to screw over the worker. Right? So for the benefit of the corporation and the state, not the citizen. And they're saying she's a fascist, but she sounds like she's standing up to the capitalists. She sounds like she could be a communist. And she says Chesterton wrote more than a century ago. Listen to this quote. Here she goes. She has to find it. Chesterton wrote, "Fires will be kindled to testify that 2 and 2 make 4. Swords will be drawn to prove that leaves are green in summer. That time has arrived. We are ready. Thank you." Whoa.
Like a mic drop.
Whoa.
It's interesting that people are once again using the term fascist, or oh no, she's Mussolini but a woman. I want to remind people that she was democratically elected. So what does that say? It means that there is a reaction by the people in Italy towards policies that were imposed upon them in 2021 and in 2020 and in 2021. And I know there's a lot of people on Twitter who are just spazzing out because, oh no, this person who said nice things about Mussolini are in office. I just want to remind them that we've had U.S. presidents commit open genocide, from good old George Washington, from Abe Lincoln. And the thing is, never forget the Nuremberg trials, where I forget what U.S. official asked which high-ranking Nazi official, but where'd you guys learn this? And the Nazis said, we learned it from you Americans on how you handled the Native Americans. We've had open fascist and genocide in the United States long before the term fascism came into existence. You think we conquered the West through a handshake and a high five? There was a genocide that took place amongst the Native American population.
And
They
so
were exterminated.
And so she is a back. So she's a lot. This is what people are saying, that she's a backlash. People voted for her just as you pointed out, a backlash to the authoritarian COVID policies.
Mm-hmm.
And Giorgia Meloni has. So this is what Peter Sweeten says. He says Giorgia Meloni has spent the last 2 years as the only politician in Italy fighting against the COVID passports. Now the Italian people just elected her as prime minister. So do you see how, because our politicians in America, Democrats, have become so right-wing, so authoritarian, that they can make someone like DeSantis look appealing to people who think that he's fighting for civil rights because he's standing up against authoritarian around COVID. Same thing here. So there's a backlash to your authoritarianism. And what that does, it's throwing peoples into the hands of what you call fascists. But to me, fighting COVID passports, that sounds like fascism to me. I can't go to a movie unless I get this thing. I can't go to eat at a restaurant. I can't get on a plane or a train. I can't travel. I can't do it business. I can't do anything. So
I think we have,
let me just go ahead, Kit. Go ahead.
I think we have to remember that, people are understandably enraged, not only just here in America, but worldwide. It was what happened to all of us in 2020 and 2021. We saw no real leadership address the pandemic, this global pandemic that we were all impacted by. And through that, we saw our politicians still live like fat cats. Their donors live like fat cats. That's right. And the thing is, ask the regular person how they feel when their entire world is taken away from them. When you take away something, when you take away everything from a human being and they have nothing left to lose, they will react rationally in an irrational environment and do what they can for them to survive in said environment. And so everyone that's panicking about this prime minister in Italy.
Why did a lefty come out? If they're why did you have a lefty come out against COVID passports and you wouldn't have to worry about this happening? The problem is the person who's supposed to be the lefty is to the right of the person who you say is a fascist. That's your fucking problem. Same thing in America. Joe Biden is to the right of people you're calling fascists. Joe Biden is the authoritarian. Joe Biden is the fascist. Joe Biden is the one who's screwing over workers, students, and any citizen in America at the behest of Wall Street or a corporation. So the problem is you don't have a left party anymore. They became right-wingers. Guess what? So here's at the Atlantic, they call it the return of fascism to Italy. Just like that. And then they quote Hillary Clinton. You want to hear who's happy about her being elected? Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton says, the election of the first woman prime minister in a country always represents a break with the past, and that is certainly a good thing. She says it's a good thing inside of an article that says that it's fascist.
So I guess Hill Dog is right, and Vote Blue no matter who needs to listen to I'm With Her. There we go. I mean, hey, if Hillary I'm With Her is saying she's all right, well then, hey, Vote Blue no matter who, and SJWs and everyone else, calm down. Just calm down. Hillary gave the gold stamp approval. There you go. Stop panicking. Everyone calm down.
That's amazing. Hillary Clinton's on board for her. So here's, I'll give you some of the reactions I saw. So here's Chernovich, right? So he's a solid right-winger guy. And he says this. He says misogynistic attacks on Giorgia Meloni disgust me. Now that's ironic because people say that he's a misogynist, right? So that's been the attack on him, right? That's what people say. So misogynistic attacks on Giorgia Meloni disgust me. She's the first female prime minister of Italy. So he's trolling these people. If you oppose her, you hate women. Because that's what I was told. If you oppose Hillary Clinton, you hate women. You're like the Iranian mullahs who think they have the power to control women. Evil. So he's trolling. He got a lot of action on that. So then Matt Vespa, blue check, says, make Italy great again. And then this guy says, Miga, please. That's pretty funny.
Oh no! I wonder when the Italian prime minister is going to say, "Hey, I want to rebuild the Roman Empire. European Union, move over. No, make the empire return. Show them the old school."
But it's weird. How could she be seemingly to stand up? Her speech is about standing up against capitalists, that they don't want to make us just another consumer, another number. She's against COVID, authoritarian COVID passports. So I don't know. I'm not saying she's not a fascist, because everybody's a fascist these days. Certainly Joe Biden is. The new prime minister, allegedly ushering in fascism to Italy, has also been a steadfast and strong voice of support for Ukraine and NATO. Huh. Does this mean that pro-Ukrainian, pro-NATO position is now fatally tainted by its association with fascism? I don't even know what this cartoon means. Do you know what this cartoon means? Does anybody? I don't even know what it means.
What I can guess is Italy is. I think it's Barrett. God, what's his name? He was the prime minister of Italy for a long time. Berlusconi or what is it? No,
Bertoloni
Bertoloni. Yeah. I don't know. I guess you could say Italy's just throwing its food back at the European Union because they don't want to be part of its BS anymore.
Oh, that's what that meant. That's what that stands for. So this represents the European Union, and
I'm taking a wild guess here, Jim.
And this is Italy. Is that what it looks like to people?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And prego means you're welcome.
I thought prego meant a thick tomato sauce that you put in a jar and sell to Americans. Just a Thought says, I don't know much about Italy's next potential prime minister, except for the fact that people will constantly argue over whether or not she's a fascist, instead of recognizing that she's just another puppet politician. Yeah. Well, if she did stand up against COVID things, that she did at that one moment, she stepped away.
She's not in lockstep with what was going on.
So, but I like that. It's a good tweet. But here, this is a professor from New York University, NYU, and she's going to tell you about the new prime minister as a fascist.
Meloni is somebody who was a hardcore neo-fascist.
Hardcore, but she was against the thing. Okay, she's for Ukraine. Okay.
Who was with 15, she joined the party that was founded right after Benito Mussolini's original party was banned in 1945. And this became the fourth largest party, the neo-fascist party called the Italian Social Movement. And she was not only a militant, she became by the 90s the head of its student organization.
Oh.
And the flame, if you look at the logo of her party called Brothers of Italy today, which was founded in 2000.
Why don't they talk about her policies that she's pushing? That's what I want to know about. She's talking about, she wanted to make, well, listen to
her
this.
child, yeah.
She's talking about what she did when she was 15 and when she became a thing. What is she pushing now? What are you fucking afraid of?
Well,
what are you afraid of?
They're only holding on to the past because they know it's a good headline story.
Yes.
Whatever she does now, that's important. Tell me what she's doing.
That's what I want to know. So listen to what she's saying about this flag. Watch this.
Of her party called Brothers of Italy today, which was founded in 2012. She insisted on keeping a tricolor flame in the logo. And that is the flame, that's the symbol of the original neo-fascist party. And over the years, many people have told her to get rid of that flame, but she won't. So this tells us a lot about her loyalties, and she really sees her party as carrying the heritage of fascism into today, so much so that Ignazio La Russa, who's a party elder, let's say, he said a few days ago, we are all heirs of the Duce.
Let me go to a clip.
Did she say that, or is she just saying, this is what somebody else said, or hearsay from so-and-so? Is this what the prime minister's saying now?
I think there's
That's
a
the
video.
key word.
Yeah, there was definitely a video of her when she was younger. She said said good things about Mussolini, that he was always working in the interest of Italy or something like that. Oh, by the way, the prime minister's name you were trying to think of was Berlusconi.
Yeah, Berlusconi. Yeah, there you go.
So there you are. There, she's going to say she's a fascist straight up, but it's because she likes that flame in her flag. That's your reason? It's just like, come on. Come up with a better reason. Look at the pictures they are using, as if she's doing a Hitler salute. You see that? That's Reuters. Oh, no, this is fake. That's Reuters pitch by. Oh, that's fake. Okay, good. I'm glad I noticed that so I didn't get duped. But they are. I have seen this on other things. Oh, but here she is again. Does anyone believe this is from? I don't know who this is from. Somebody named Doge. Does anyone believe the media's portrayal of Italy's new prime minister, Giorgia Meloni, as hard right? To the media, anything right of woke liberalism is far right. And here's from Mark Ames says this. He says, the reason we don't hear 24/7 media. So his first tweet is that we're only 7 months into this wretched war, and already the neo-fascists are back in power in Italy. And for the first time since Mussolini, and neo-Nazis are in power in NATO's newest member, Sweden. And he says the reason we don't hear 24/7 media political alarm about this is that both Italy's neo-fascists and Sweden's neo-Nazi parties and Spain's neo-fascist Vox are pro-NATO. That's why. They're pro-NATO. They're pro-Ukraine and anti-Russia. Our ruling classes have their priorities. Stopping all fascism isn't one of them. But again, this idea that she's more I mean, I wish people, will of course be following this.
Well,
they say she's anti-immigrant, she's anti-LGBTQ, stuff like that. Well, but to me, that's just a regular right-winger and sometimes a left-winger in the United States being anti-immigrant. Well, Joe Biden is caging kids. And Barack Obama deported more Hispanics and caged more Hispanics than Trump did. So go ahead. I'm sorry, kid.
No, it's all good. So here's the thing. We have to remember the days before she was elected into office. Look what's happening in Europe and even here in America. Rising inflation, price of gas and food. So it's not only just, oh no, she said some nice things about Mussolini, right? But let's look at the economic environment in Italy. What are the people going through? High gas prices, heating, food, buying medicine, and so much more. And right now with Russia shutting off that pipeline into Europe, I mean, people's lives are going to be severely impacted this winter. And if you have do-nothing politicians that offer platitudes and say, hey, we just got to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, even though 2020 and 2021 were BS years that we abandoned you, people will react and go for something different. You said it yourself in 2016. Do you think people voted for Trump because their lives are great? No. People didn't elect Trump because they were so happy. No, people wanted something different. Now, Bernie Sanders choosing to be the cuck not once but twice in 2016 and 2020, he chose to drop the ball. Trump, he at least rallied his base and fought for his election in 2016 in the primary and in the 2020 general election and the 2016 general election and going into 2020 as well. So the thing is, if you're going to abandon people, then it should come no surprise that you're going to get a Trump or like this Italian prime minister. But yet the liberal media, you have so many people who are stuck in their bubbles, not paying attention to politics, are then automatically shocked that this happens. You create an irrational environment, people will want to survive, and they'll go with somebody who will say, I will make your life better. You'll be protected under me. It's human nature. It's been going long before the United States was ever founded.
Virginia Beach, Richmond, Arlington, San Jose, Miami, West Palm Beach. Go to jimmydorecomedy.com for a link for all the tickets and become a premium member while you're there.